Rockledge Elementary School singers.
He gets across the 25. Finds the back tackle.
Number 21, Jason Hawkins in return for
Welcome in
Woodbridge.
for what has all the
Back by
makings
number
of a
4,
great game.
Antoine Sample.
Potentially the game of the year here in Prince William County.
We're going to take over first and 10. Looks like we're going to start about their own 27-yard line. Back of the shotgun for Cleveland, number 1, Quest Powell.
About the 36, should be 2nd and 1. It is a sunny, bright fall afternoon here in Woodbridge. It's the wind blowing across the field here. 2nd and 1 after the 9-yard gain by Brown. As Brown moves to the left of Powell, gets the snap. The give to Brown. He is stopped short. He may have enough for the first down, though. That will depend upon the spot. Archimpong there on the stop. And he gets back to the line of scrimmage. No more, so that will bring up 3rd and 1. Brown, the lone back, 4 receivers. The snap, he fakes the gift to Brown, and a pass is dropped as Powell was looking for Nazir Armstrong. He could not haul it in. That will bring up 4th and 1. And a decision for Coach Darrell Overton to make right now. The offense will stay on the field, so a 4th and 1 here on the opening possession for the Eagles. Brown once again the lone setback. Powell can't hold on to the snap. Brown dove on it though, and I think he's got enough for a first down. And we'll wait for the signal here. My goodness, as Quest Powell could not handle that snap. It bounced on the ground, and Tyquan Brown dove on it. We'll get a measurement now. As here comes the chain gang. And it is, in fact, a first down. By the shortest of margins, Tyquan Brown recovers the fumble and gets a new set of downs for the Eagles. So 1st and 10 at the 37 with 10:27 left to go here in the first quarter. A fortuitous bounce and a fumble recovery gives the Eagles a first down. Powell in the gun. Once again, Brown is only running back. He'll hand it to Brown running up the middle. He's got some room. He gets across midfield, and he is brought down there. Trayshawn Parham in on the stop. And so for the first time, the Eagles into Vikings territory, 1st and 10 from the 49. And Brown, once again, will get the carry. He'll bring it up to about the 46 before he's met by a wall of yellow jerseys. Gain of 3 on the play will make it 2nd and 7. So, of course, a lot at stake in this one today. As we take a look at the power rankings, Woodbridge number 3 right now, Freedom tied for 5th place. Both of those teams would love to improve their position for postseason. Powell with a quick out to Hatcher. Hatcher's got some room coming across the 40, across the 30, and he will be brought down at the 11 as Hatcher nearly broke one there. A flag comes in on the near side here as once again it was Trayshawn Parham in on the tackle, but we will have to wait to see if this one will come back or not. And it appears that this penalty will be on the Vikings, so they will decline it, and the Eagles are in business, 1st and 10 at the 11-yard line after the big gain by Hatcher. So 1st and 10 from the 11. Brown moves to the right of Powell, and now we'll get a whistle, and that should be encroachment against the Vikings. So that'll be a 5-yard penalty, 1st and 5 from the 6-yard line. The Eagles knocking on the door early. Once again, Brown shifts to the right of Powell. Brown will get the carry. He's running up the middle, and he powers his way into the end zone. Touchdown, Eagles. So on the first possession of the game, Tyquan Brown punches it in from 5 yards out, and the Eagles lead 6-0. So the Eagles decide to go for it on 4th and 1 in their own territory. On a snap that was fumbled, Brown recovered it, got the first down, and then they complete the march down and get it into the end zone for the opening score of the game. As here's the extra point attempt. Kick is in the air, and it is good. So just like that, the Eagles are on top 7-0 here at Woodbridge. We'll take a quick break. This is the game of the week on Inside Nova.
Podcast is brought to you by OmniRide. OmniRide offers a family of hassle-free travel options in Prince William County and beyond. OmniRide Express buses travel from eastern Prince William, Manassas, and Gainesville to destinations like downtown D.C., the Pentagon, and nearby metro stations. OmniRide local buses operate in Prince William, Manassas, and Manassas Park and are great for shopping, medical appointments, and other everyday activities. OmniRide's ride matching service joins commuters with carpools or van pools that fit their schedules. Visit OmniRide.com to find out how you can leave the driving to OmniRide and get there smarter.
The Eagles with a 7-0 lead. Tyquan Brown, a 5-yard touchdown run on the opening possession of the game. And so the Vikings offense will look to answer. And this kick will be taken at the 6. And the receiver, I think, lost sight of it in the sun. And we will wait to see who got this one. As the referee indicates, it is Vikings ball. That sun looked like to be right in the kick returner's eyes, and he had a hard time finding that one, but the Vikings will get the ball. 1st and 10 at the 10-yard line. The Vikings led by quarterback Antavius Jackson. Of course, Lamont James, the biggest contributor on offense, as both of these teams rely heavily on their running backs. So 1st and 10 from the 10-yard line. Jackson, the give to James up the middle, and he's stopped short. Picked up a yard or two at the most. And so that will bring up 2nd and 9. It's a beautiful fall afternoon here in Woodbridge. We're glad you're tuned in on Inside Nova for our game of the week and probably the game of the year here in Prince William County. So Jackson goes up to the line to bark out a signal. He's got 2 backs with him. Jackson the snap, the give, and being brought down right away is Lamont James as he was met by a host of Eagles defenders there, and he is down on the ground. He is not getting up. As the medical trainers will come to take a look at Lamont James, and we'll step aside here on your Game of the Week on Inside Nova.
Game is being sponsored in part by the Frizzle Insurance Agency, State Farm Insurance, your home for all of your insurance needs. When you need car, home, life, or business insurance, Andrew Frizzle and his team have it all covered for you. Call the Frizzle Insurance Agency today for all your insurance needs.
Welcome back. As we still have the injured player down on the field, Lamont James, the running back. He was met in the backfield, was wrestled down to the grass, and he has not gotten up. As this is potentially a huge blow to the Woodbridge Vikings. He's up now and walking off under his own power. He appears to be favoring the upper part of his right arm, perhaps a shoulder injury. But that will bring up 3rd down and 10 after the loss. As Jackson leads his team back out of the huddle. 3rd and 10 officially. Jackson has the snap. He's going to roll out. He's looking for his receiver. That one is batted up in the air and intercepted. He was looking for Trayshawn Parham. Parham could not come up with it. Went up in the air and was intercepted. And so this Eagles offense will take back over at the 28-yard line of the Vikings. What a turn of events here in the early going. A holding penalty against the Vikings, of course, will be declined. So back out comes Quest Powell and the the Freedom offense. As Powell has it, he will give it to Brown. Tries to spin away from a couple defenders. He is brought down. In on the tackle was Shiku Tonkara. Gain of 2 on the play will bring up 2nd and 8. We've got 7:13 left to go here in the opening quarter of play. As Powell gets ready for the snap, once again with Brown to his right. Powell being rushed, looking to throw. That pass is batted and intercepted. Going across the 50 to the 40. And he will be brought down inside the 20-yard line. On the interception is Jalen Howard. Powell went back to pass. Howard tipped the ball up in the air and came down with it. And so the Vikings take away a golden offensive opportunity from the Eagles as they're now in business in the red zone. 1st and 10 from the Eagles 17. My, oh my. That's Howard's second interception of the season. And so here comes Antavius Jackson, leading the Vikings offense onto the field. He threw an interception to Jordan Leach his last time. He's going to get the snap. He fakes the handoff. He's going to be brought down in the backfield. And that will be a short loss. Loss of 2 on the play will bring up 2nd and 12. Jason Hawkins among the Eagles defenders in on the tackle. And this game, of course, today being brought to you by OmniRide. OmniRide Express buses travel from Eastern Prince William, Manassas, and Gainesville to destinations like downtown D.C., the Pentagon, and nearby metro stations. Visit OmniRide.com to find out how you can leave the driving to OmniRide and ride smarter, as this pass is incomplete. So they were looking for Trayshawn Parham. That's going to bring up 3rd and 12. Niger Johnson in on the coverage will bring up 3rd and 12. 5:56 left to play here in the first. We get a whistle and a timeout taken by the Vikings. So we will take one here. This is the game of the week on Inside Nova.
This broadcast is brought to you by OmniRide. OmniRide offers a family of hassle-free travel options in Prince William County and beyond. Visit OmniRide.com to find out how you can leave the driving to OmniRide and get there smarter.
It's 3rd and 12. The Vikings looking to make something happen here on their first trip into the red zone today. That, of course, was set up by the interception and long return by Jalen Howard. He was brought down at the Eagles' 17-yard line. So the Vikings looking to convert a 3rd and long. Jackson with the snap, looking to throw. He's got Pepra. He's got it complete, and he's down at the 2-yard line. Mansa Pepra with the reception. It'll be 1st and goal. The Vikings knocking on the door to try to tie this game, and now we get a timeout taken by the Eagles, and we will keep it right here. So a lot going on in this first quarter of play, as the Eagles converted a 4th and 1 in their own territory on a fumble. The snap was fumbled by Powell, as Tyquan Brown dove on it, had enough for the first down. And then a long completion to Umari Hatcher, and a penalty set up a 5-yard touchdown run by Tyquan Brown. An interception on the first possession by the Vikings set up the Eagles deep in Vikings territory. However, Jalen Howard batted a pass up in the air and came down with it. And now the Vikings knocking on the door. Jackson with the snap. We got a whistle right after the snap. A flag on the play. Offside against the Eagles. So that'll move them up half a yard or so. But should move them up to the 1-yard line. We've got 5:38 left to go here in the first. Jackson is going to try to keep this one himself, and he will be brought down immediately. Might have lost a yard there. And that will bring up 2nd and goal. Officially, they're calling it a loss of a half yard. Taylor Harris, the running back, checks into the game. The snap to Jackson. He's going to give it to Harris, and he fumbled it. I think he was able to come back up with it. And so that will move the Vikings back to the 7-yard line. 3rd and goal from the 7 coming up. Antoine Sampa comes to the sideline as Isaiah Johnson will check in. And Harris will be in the backfield with Jackson once again. Jackson trying to decide what to do on the option. He keeps it, and he is brought down. So that will bring up 4th and goal, and a decision here for Coach Gary Wortham. And they will keep the offense on the field. The Vikings going for it on 4th and goal from the 7. Harris again in the backfield with Jackson. Jackson looking to throw, can't find anyone open. He's taking off. Jackson's got some room, and he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Vikings! And Tavius Jackson, a 7-yard touchdown run, gets the Vikings to within 1 at 7-6. Jackson was looking for an open receiver, could not find one. He takes it himself into the end zone. So Gilly will come on to try to boot the extra point through. Josh Ramirez, the holder. The kick is up, and it is good. We've got a tie game here in the first quarter. The Vikings 7, the Eagles 7. We'll take a quick break. This is the game of the week on Inside Nova.
Today's game is being sponsored in part by the Frizzle Insurance Agency, State Farm Insurance, your home for all of your insurance needs. When you need car, home, life, or business insurance, Andrew Frizzle and his team have it all covered for you. Call the Frizzle Insurance Agency today for all your insurance needs.
We are tied at 7 with 3:33 left to go in the first quarter. And Tavius Jackson's 7-yard touchdown run gets the Vikings on the board. What an afternoon here in Woodbridge. It is Breast Cancer Awareness Month, of course, so lots of pink in the stands, some on the field as well. As Carter Gilly gets ready to boot this one away. Gilly with the kick. This one is end over end short. That will be taken at the 24-yard line. As looking for some return room, they will get it across the 30. As on the return was Zach Person. And so the Eagles take over 1st and 10 at their own 32. Tyquan Brown got the Eagles on the board with a 5-yard touchdown run. Answered on the last possession by the Vikings, and Tavius Jackson takes it 7 yards into the end zone on 4th and goal. So this the 3rd possession of the game for the Eagles. Got a man in motion, that's Person, as Brown will get the carry, trying to cut it to the outside, gets it up to the 35. Might have stretched it to the 36. Antoine Sampa, and on the tackle, will bring up 2nd and 6, we'll call it. Brown sets up in his familiar spot to the right of Powell. Brown gets the carry. He's met, spins away from one tackler, but he can't do much more than that as he'll get it back to the line of scrimmage. And actually, they will give him a yard on the carry, so that will bring up third down. So the Eagles work quickly here. Brown now sets up to the left of Powell. We get a whistle and a penalty. As we await the signal that will go against Woodbridge. So an offside call will give the Eagles 5 free yards. We've got 2:12 left to play here in the first quarter. Brown with, in the backfield, the lone setback. And that will be a false start penalty against the Eagles as Keely Davis flinched. And so they will give those 5 free yards back. And we're under 2 minutes, a minute 53 left to go here in the opening quarter of play.
37 for the Eagles.
As Powell awaits the snap, he gives to Brown. He's got some room coming up the middle. He's got the first down, and he will get it out to the 47. So gain of about 10 on the play. Ball now being spotted at the 46 with a minute 29 left to go here in the first. Brown moves to the left of Powell. Powell gets the snap. He'll give it to Brown. He'll bring it up the middle. He's being pushed forward across midfield. Takes it to the 49 of the Vikings. Under a minute to go.
Second down for the Eagles. Second and 6.
How many cameras you got? Ooh.
2 receivers split out to each side for Powell. He gets a snap. He'll hand it to Brown again. He's running up the middle. He's got a first down and more as he'll bring it up to the 35 before he is brought down to the grass. And we're under 30 seconds left to go. And just to remind you, this broadcast being brought to you by OmniRide. OmniRide's ride matching service joins commuters with carpools or van pools that fit their schedules. Visit OmniRide.com to find out how you can leave the driving to OmniRide and get there smarter. Brown gets the carry once again. He's going to be hit at the 35 and brought down. Antoine Sampa there on the stop for the Vikings. Gain of 1 on the play, and that should do it for the first quarter here. So after the opening 12 minutes of play, we are deadlocked at 7, and we will step aside here. This is the high school game of the week on Inside Nova.
Broadcast is brought to you by OmniRide. OmniRide Express buses travel from Eastern Prince William, Manassas, and Gainesville to destinations like downtown D.C., the Pentagon, and nearby metro stations. Visit OmniRide.com to find out how you can leave the driving to OmniRide and get there smarter.
Breast cancer. Selection A, your age. Selection B,
It's a gorgeous fall afternoon. It's a great day for football here in Woodbridge. After one quarter of play, we're knotted at 7. Tyquan Brown on the Eagles' opening possession with a 5-yard touchdown run. And that was answered late in the first quarter by Antavius Jackson. On a 4th and goal, he took a snap, could not find an open receiver. He decided to run it himself and got it into the end zone, and that's where we stand, 7-7 here as we begin the second quarter. It's Eagles ball, 1st and 10 at the, 2nd and 9 rather, at the 34-yard line, the 34 of the Vikings. As you can expect, it's been Tyquan Brown really shouldering the load for this offense. On the Viking side, Lamont James went down on the first possession, appeared to injure his shoulder, and he will not return. A huge blow to the Vikings. As Powell awaits the snap, he has it. He's looking to throw. That one will be caught, and that will await a spot. Looks like the receiver got close to the first down, as that was Nazir Armstrong on the reception, and that is, in fact, good enough for a first down. So 1st and 10 from the 25 as this Eagles offense works quickly.
$10,000 tripod if I keep doing this.
Working exclusively out of the gun. The give is to Brown. He's going to get it across the 25 up to maybe the 23. Gain of 2 on the play. Jalen Howard in there on the tackle. So officially 2nd and 9. They're spotting it at the 24. Fakes the give to Brown. Throw to the sideline, caught by Hawkins. He'll be spun down. He gets it to the 18. So gain of about 6 on the reception will bring up 3rd and 4, I guess we'll officially call it. Ball spotted at the 19. Brown out there with 2 receivers split out to each side. I'm sorry, Powell, the quarterback, Brown in the backfield. Vikings showing blitz. The give will be to Brown, and he is met in the backfield and stuffed there. Jalen Howard got in there and brings down Brown for a loss of about 3. So that will bring up 4th down, and the Eagles offense stays on the field. Coming onto the field is Antavius Jackson in the defensive backfield. 9:46 to go. 4th and 7. Powell has it. He's looking to throw as that one is dropped by Hatcher. Hatcher could not haul that one in, and it is a turnover on downs. So they will take over at their own 22. So the Vikings defense hold, their offense will come out and see what they can do here. 9.5 left to play here in the second quarter. Jackson looking to throw, and he is looking deep down the sideline as that one falls incomplete. Joshua Hayes there on the coverage as Trayshawn Parham tried to come up with that one. Really good coverage there by Joshua Hayes, and now Parham down on the sideline after jumping up to try to make a catch there. So Trayshawn Parham, the receiver, down on the sideline as he is being aided there by the athletic training staff. He's on the sideline, so play will continue here. .9:23 left to go here. We get a whistle, and now they're ready to resume play. Jackson gets the snap. He's going to keep this one. He's bringing it up across the 25 as the ball's on the ground, and Jason Hawkins picked it up. I think the officials will say he was down, though. So Jackson gains 4. That'll bring it up 3rd and 6. And now we get a whistle. A nice stiff breeze blowing here in Woodbridge today on what is a gorgeous fall afternoon for football. Jackson with the snap, and once again he will run it. He comes across the 30, and he has enough for the first down. Jackson gets it out to the 34. That gives the Vikings a fresh set of downs, an 8-yard gain. The Vikings move the chains. Jackson comes over to get the play from the sideline. 8:33 left to go here in the second quarter.
Ball on the Vikings 33-yard line, 1st and 10.
The snap to Jackson. He's looking deep. He's got a man open, but he could not connect with Pepra, as that one was just out of his reach as Pepra had a step there.
I can't see. It's too bright out here.
And so that brings up 2nd and 10. Jackson with one running back. He gets the snap, and we get a whistle as soon as the ball is snapped. A flag on the play, as that will be a false start against the Vikings. So that'll set up a 2nd and 15 from the 28-yard line.
We play 2nd down. 2nd and 15 for the Vikings.
This game brought to you today by Andrew Frizzle, your local State Farm agent, the Frizzle Insurance Agency for all of your home, auto, and life insurance needs. Jackson the snap. They give to the back. He will be wrestled down in the backfield. So that is Kyrie Robinson on the carry. And so that will be a loss of about 2. So it'll be 3rd and about 17. Jackson looking to pass. He's trying to get away from the rush, and he will take a big hit there. He is sacked. Loss of about 1 on the sack. As I believe that was Marvin Hicks who was in on the sack, and that will bring up a 4th down. And it is quite windy out here, so we'll see if this could possibly wreak havoc on the punt. We've got 6:36 left to play here in the second quarter. As this is a high and very short punt, and that will take a freedom roll, and that will be downed at the Vikings 27-yard line. So excellent starting field position for the Eagles to start this next drive. .6:14 left on the clock here in the second as the Eagles offense will come back out onto the field. As that punt just got eaten up by the wind, and then to make matters worse for the Vikings, it took an Eagles roll as there was a lot of backspin on it. So 1st and 10 for Freedom. They take over at the 27. Brown moves to the left of Powell. He'll get the handoff, looking to take it to the outside. As he gets it up near the 20, he's going to be ridden out of bounds at about the 22-yard line. But we do have a penalty on the play. The clock halted with 6:06 left to go. As the men in stripes will get together to talk about this one, the penalty goes against the Eagles. So it is a 5-yard penalty, so it'll bring up 1st and 15. And now we get a whistle. As we await the start of this play, Coach Overton there on the Freedom sideline signaling into his offense. Powell will give it to Brown. He's powering his way up the middle, gets across the 30, gets it to about the 28 before he's brought down. Gain of about 4 on the play. Officially, they give him 3. So it'll set up 2nd and 12 as we're under 6 minutes to go now. As the wind comes into our broadcast booth, as we imagine that could make passing and kicking difficult at times today. Hard count as Brown gets the snap. And he is going to be met at about the line of scrimmage. As should be no gain on this one. We'll set up 3rd and 12. Under 5 to play now. So Brown, of course, the lone running back in the backfield. Powell's looking to throw. He lost this one up as that is out of the reach of Nazir Armstrong. It is incomplete, and that will bring up 4th and 12. So the Eagles right now with the wind working in their favor, but they will keep the offense on the field. So they'll go for it on 4th and 12 from the 29. So the crowd starts to make some noise here in Woodbridge. Powell has it. Delayed give to Brown. He gets it across the 20. And he will get it inside the 15. A first down for the Eagles. Tyquan Brown on a delayed handoff picks up a fresh set of downs. My goodness. So the Eagles in business, looking to regain the lead. Powell gets it. He'll give it to Brown running up the middle as he will push it across the 10. So the ball will be spotted right there at the 10-yard line. 4:03 left to play as the clock is ticking down. Gain of about 5 on that one. As Brown, or Powell rather, gives out a signal to his offense. He fakes the give to Brown, looking into the end zone. That one is caught. Touchdown, Eagles!
Hey, but why is Omari? He didn't know. He didn't get the call. But we'll give Darryl all the credit.
Touchdown, Eagles. They take the lead. It is 13-7. So Powell's first touchdown pass of the game puts his team back up on top. As So will come in to try to make it 14-7. The kick is up, and it is good. So with 3:32 left to go in the second quarter, the Eagles lead 14-7. This is your high school game of the week on Inside Nova.
Broadcast is brought to you by OmniRide. OmniRide local buses operate in Prince William, Manassas, and Manassas Park and are great for shopping, medical appointments, and other everyday activities. Visit OmniRide.com to find out how you can leave the driving to OmniRide and get there smarter.
.332 left to go here in the second. It is 14-7, the Eagles lead. Zach Person, a 10-yard touchdown pass, puts the Eagles back on top. A 10-yard touchdown reception, I should say. As I am joined here by Ryan Sonner of Inside Nova.
How we doing?
We are doing well. It's a beautiful day for football.
Couldn't get any better. A little bit windy, but we're all right.
As here's the kickoff. This one will be taken by Pepra, and actually he will let it roll into the end zone. That will be a touchback. And so obviously a huge blow for the Vikings as Lamont James goes down early. He was in a sling on the sideline, so obviously he will not return.
Yeah, that's a bad hit for them. I mean, Jackson's going to have to carry the load with the running game now. We'll see how he handles that. See how long he can hold up.
Well, he was able to get into the end zone on a 4th and goal. He could not find an open receiver. He decided to take it himself, found some room, and got in. That touchdown, though, answered by the Eagles and a Zach Person 10-yard reception. It's 14-7 as Jackson looks to avoid the rush. He gets pulled by his jersey, and he will be sacked. A big loss there. As an excellent push there from that Eagles defensive line.
It's a different level of blocking when you're in the offensive lineman and now you're having to block for a scrambling quarterback as opposed to a straight-ahead runner like James.
So that'll bring up second and about 16 with 3:05 to go in the first half. Jackson looking to throw. He was rushed as he threw it, as he was looking there for Pepra. Excellent coverage there as Niger Johnson was with him stride for stride. The pass ball's incomplete. So that brings up 3rd and 16 with 2:51 to go here in the second quarter.
Switching in another running back. These long-distance situations, let's see how Woodbridge handles it. See if Freedom brings some pressure, force him out of the pocket.
A long third down, and of course we saw the wind really wreak havoc on that last punt. As Jackson spins, looking to find an open man. He's found a little bit of running room as the ball is on the ground, and that will be recovered by the Vikings. But that brings us a long fourth down, and the Vikings will have to try to punt this one into the wind as we saw them do last time. It was a high, short punt, got knocked down by the wind, but then to make matters worse, there was a lot of backspin on the ball, and it took a really big Eagles roll, and they were able to take over on the Vikings 27.
There was a -1 net on that punt. Let's see what happens here.
So here it is. This one will bounce at about the 43. And the returner avoids a tackle. He's going up the sideline. He's still got some room. He's going to be brought down inside the 20. And once again, the Eagles set up with excellent field position.
I want to see if Freedom goes back to that counter trap play that worked on that long fourth down on the last series. That looked like it took him off guard. But it was a great play call by Coach Overton.
Yeah, that Vikings defense definitely not expecting the delayed handoff to Brown. So it's 14-7. We've got a minute 47 left to play here in the first half. The Eagles would love to add to their lead as the Vikings will be receiving the second half kickoff.
Woodbridge is dropping back.
As we get a whistle right away, and that will be delay of game against the Eagles, and that can't make Coach Darrell Overton very happy to start a possession.
It didn't make the assistants in the box here happy either. It looks like they had a play call that they really liked.
So a minute 45 left to go. It'll be 1st and 15 from the 25-yard line. Two receivers split out to each side. Brown sets up to the right of Powell. The give will be to Brown, and he is met immediately in the backfield.
I believe that was at 42. That's not Jalen Howard.
As Reuben Adams and Nana Achampong in on the tackle.
Good job on that name.
Thank you. So 2nd and 19 after the penalty and then the 4-yard loss. A minute 11 left to go. Powell will give this one to Brown, looking for some running room up the middle. He gets it across the 25 before he is stood up and eventually wrestled down to the grass.
That's a great second effort by Brown just to get a couple of yards out of that.
Shiku Tonkera in on the stop. 45 seconds and counting.
And that's Brown's 21st carry of the game. He's got 88 yards against this defense. Game plan looks pretty apparent.
Yeah, we haven't seen Julian Edwards at all. It has been all Tyquan Brown so far as the running game goes for the Eagles. And now we have an empty backfield on 3rd and long.
5 wide.
Powell looking to throw. Looking for Hawkins deep into the end zone. That one will be overthrown and incomplete. So 4th and forever with 14 seconds left to go.
And Woodbridge is going to be looking for that counter tray on this one again, I would think. That's a hard pass to complete in this wind.
In the wind, and there was double coverage there as well. So be sure to keep it here at halftime. We'll have some interviews coming up for you. Powell once again working out of an empty backfield. We get a whistle, and believe a couple of the linemen flinched on the right side of that line. That'll be a false start penalty and will move the Eagles back even further.
Freedom coaches like that one too. Every play they like, there's a penalty.
So that moves the ball back to the 30, and now we get a timeout taken by the Eagles. We'll take a quick one here as well. This is your high school game of the week on Inside Nova.
Today's game is being sponsored in part by the Frizzle Insurance Agency, State Farm Insurance, your home for all of your insurance needs. When you need car, home, life, or business insurance, Andrew Frizzle and his team have it all covered for you. Call the Frizzle Insurance Agency today for all your insurance needs.
Justin Richards, Ryan Sonner back here at Woodbridge Senior High School. 11 seconds left to go here in the second quarter, rather. As it is 4th and about 21 for the Eagles here in the dying seconds of the first half.
Conventional wisdom says you take a shot at the end zone, but today is not a conventional day, weather-wise or defense-wise.
Yeah, we've seen a couple interceptions, and this wind can definitely make the passing game very difficult. One timeout remaining for the Eagles should they convert the first down.
They would have to get up to about the 10-yard line.
So we're ready to go.
5 wide again, empty backfield.
As Powell has it, he's looking to throw. Looking deep into the end zone. That one will be overthrown, incomplete, and that will stop the clock with 8 seconds left to go as the Vikings offense will come back out onto the field here. And so if you're Coach Gary Wortham, you have 8 seconds left. This blowing constant wind is going to make passing difficult. What do you do here?
I'm careful here. I'm careful. If not, just outright take a knee. But I'm definitely careful. But Jackson, he can scramble. You know, he's one of those quarterbacks in this area that can make something out of nothing. But you don't want to make a critical mistake either.
And so they are not in kneel down formation as they will come out with a 4-receiver set. Jackson fakes the give off. He throws it on the option as that one will be taken by Pepra. He'll get it up to the 41 before he goes out of bounds, and there is 1 second left on the clock. And so we'll see if we could see a Hail Mary here, or we could see some crazy hook and ladder play.
Got trips right.
And he will give it to Ferguson. He'll run it up the middle for a gain of about 3, and that is how the first half ends. So after 24 minutes of play, your score, the Freedom Eagles 14, the Woodbridge Vikings 7, as we will await halftime interviews as we've got Joel Andrews down on the field with Principal Heather Abney. And to recap the scoring in this one, actually I think we're just about ready for the interview, so we will take it down to Joel.
Woodbridge High School. What are some of the things that you and your team do to help the school?
Give it up for ladies and gentlemen, your Woodbridge Vikings
All the high schools in the
dance team.
county providing security protection.
At this time,
But as the SRO unit, it's more than that. We build relationships with the students, the staff,
High School record
form a true
1998
partnership
graduate
within the community to
Carrie Bennett, who is here with her
provide
husband
overall
Wenzo
security,
and
safety,
daughter
and
Gabrielle.
just build great
The
partnerships
couple
and
owns
relationships.
4 Falls Cremation Services.
Well, it sounds
The
great
business
because
built
every
on
time I
the core
hear
values
something,
of
whether it's on Twitter or Facebook,
integrity, passion,
it's all
and ethical pet
it's all
care,
community.
and
Woodbridge
primary
one big happy
clinics,
family.
and help
And
bring
I think
peace
you
and
have a lot
happiness
to
to
do
the
with
hearts of
it.
people
You're out here
who love
all
their
the
pets
time,
dearly
all the
and
sports
want
with
to remember
everyone.
them always. The class of 1998 has launched a Viking Technology Initiative to raise funds for Innovation Lab. They turned a 20-year reunion into a fundraising
All right,
for the
we're going
school.
to take it back up there for just a moment when we come back. We're going to meet with Steve Bryson, the athletic director of Freedom High School, back after this.
We need to give back to create the Viking Technology Initiative. Carrie Bennett has epitomized that goal.
How are you, Steve Bryson?
Donation of $2,500 for the
You want to move
initiative.
down here away from that?
On behalf of Woodbridge Senior High School,
gonna help.
we thank
Today's game is being sponsored in part by the Frizzle Insurance Agency, State Farm Insurance, your home for all of your insurance needs. When you need car, home, life, or business insurance, Andrew Frizzle and his team have it all covered for you. Call the Frizzle Insurance Agency today for all your insurance needs.
Steve Bryson, the activities director of Freedom High School. You guys are up at the half here. Can you keep it up here in the second half?
We're hoping so. Our team has come out excited about this cross-time rivalry that we have built with Woodbridge over the last couple of years. Of course, been a little bit of competitive trash talking over the weeks. I think both teams have come out and are ready for a good game of football today. And it is a good game.
Perfect fall weather. Now, Heather Avenue was talking about the field that they're going to get next year. You guys got a brand new field this year. What has that meant to the school and your community?
Oh, it's huge because during around this time, a lot of our programs are using both of our practice field and our game field for practice and games. So by the springtime, our fields are really torn up. So it's great that we were able to get 2 turf fields this past year, a practice field and a stadium field. So it's helped all of our programs now go out and do a lot of preseason activities, and it's helped a lot of our community members come and use that same field.
And I know it's about to get loud here. One more question for you.
Of course.
Everybody talking about football, but you got field hockey, you got basketball coming up. Tell us a bit more about Freedom Athletics.
I'll tell you right now, it's always important when football does well. That starts off the school year, help building that culture. So we're off to a 5-0 start with football. But we also had the cheer squad just qualified and placed 4th in the district tournament the other day. So this is the second year that they've qualified for the region tournament. So we're really excited about that. And then, we got basketball coming up, swim and wrestling. So really exciting things going on for Freedom Athletics.
All right. Good luck the rest of the way and in this ball game here today.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Now we head back up to the booth. So we need to get the camera up here so we can charge.
Yeah. Thank you, gentlemen. Appreciate it.
Cast is brought to you by OmniRide. OmniRide offers a family of hassle-free travel options in Prince William County and beyond. OmniRide Express buses travel from eastern Prince William, Manassas, and Gainesville to destinations like downtown D.C., the Pentagon, and nearby metro stations. OmniRide local buses operate in Prince William, Manassas, and Manassas Park and are great for shopping, medical appointments, and other everyday activities. OmniRide's ride matching service joins commuters with carpools or van pools that fit their schedules. Visit OmniRide.com to find out how you can leave the driving to OmniRide and get there smarter.
Celtics fan.
I'm a Bruins fan, a Red Sox fan, but I'm a Redskins fan.
I like the Redskins too. You know, I'm not going to root against them unless they and then I might root for them because I feel sorry for them.
That's well, you should.
So you from up there?
No, I grew up in Alaska, but I was in a Colts fan. My first one was there a lot of
We had a guy that did reporting on the Capitals when we were kids, and he gave us some of the Capitals bumper stickers. Mr. Dabney. He lived in Craig Sheen's house. He gave us bumper stickers and stuff. I stuck one on my bike, and I've been a Caps fan ever since. I still got it. I use a shaving kit. It's like 87, 88. Maybe 86, 87. Why don't you go give me a drink? I tightened it. Yeah, you can't. You gotta loosen this.
The camera shows me shit. Zooming in, zooming out. So I got mine down there. I keep it on tripod. More on tripod and less zooming. Up here, you're supposed to have 3 angles: a mid-range, a wide shot, and a close shot.
Right. What happened was this thing was loose, so when you touched it, it would go,
yeah, you got to tighten this piece right here.
You got to loosen this because somebody had tightened this, and this got loose because they turned it and it loosened. Look.
It's the most $50 fluid.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
So I tightened it up, and I'm good now. Man. It's gonna be so much easier. Oh, I know it's terrible. Yeah, you gotta be trying to be super smooth as your body. I understand. No, I saw it. You can see it.
Well, you know what? I suck too, and I got better every week.
The frickin' sun? No, I can do a basketball game. I can't see the frickin' sun. These things get dark on me. So I'm going like this.
Well, how about
I'm going like this trying to watch and see it.
Without these, I can't see shit going in here. So I can't watch the game. I'm trying to watch it, that little thing, but it's so blurred out.
I know.
So I'm up here, I'm really playing.
What will do should not be running the camera.
You know what I should do with a game like this? I should have like a smaller.
Yeah.
Stay, what we need is one person and another camera.
We definitely need more cameras because I'm fucking.
Well, no, he just needs, all you need to be is you need to be the go-to camera that he knows, that he can go to whenever, like, I'm running with the
Terrell bought this for me in the late 80s. It was a gift, yeah.
That's awesome.
It's kind of funny. I showed it to her last year. But hey, you got this for me in the late 80s. When I was driving my dad up.
You still got that kid in That's a different one.
I sold it I don't know. Maybe sold it in 2000.
Oh, really? And then you had another one. You had a red one.
Just for a week.
Oh.
No, it was the same car. It was the same number. I put 325,000 miles on it.
I'll sell it at 2,000. What were you driving like 2 years ago?
I've been driving the Acura. My Acura is 280,000.
Ben's gonna stay steady. Well, there's so much shit to go wrong. Yeah, get out of the way. Woodbridge is still running.
I need a drink. Go get a drink.
Yeah, go get a drink.
What if this blows away?
I'll stand right here.
Anybody want anything?
Teetering on that little corner there.
No, it's good. The wind's blowing it this way. The wind actually blew it.
Go get
the wind blew it.
Okay, drink. Backwards.
Anybody want anything?
We'll figure that thing out, the monitor out for the next game.
Ladies and gentlemen, we'd like to bring your attention on the Woodbridge sideline to about the 45-yard line, where you see Miss Abby in the #1 jersey. Also, school board members Lori Williams and Miss Lily Jesse. Woodbridge High School would like to welcome 1998 graduate Carrie Bennett, who is here with her husband Lorenzo and daughter Gabrielle. The couple owns 4 Paws Cremation Services, a business built on the core values of integrity, compassion, and ethical pet care to meet the needs of veterinary clinics and help bring peace and happiness to the hearts of people who love their pets dearly and want to remember them always. The class of 1998 has launched a Viking Technology Initiative to raise funds for Innovation Lab. They turned their 20-year reunion into a fundraiser for the school. Their vision and mission was simple: to leverage personal success, experiences, connections, and the need to give back to create the Viking Technology Initiative. Carrie Bennett has epitomized that goal with her donation. I think she's giving the check to Miss Abney right now. Her donation of $2,500 towards the initiative. On behalf of Woodbridge Senior High School, we thank you, Carrie Bennett, for such an amazing gift to Woodbridge High School.
Let's go, cheer, bro. She got a 20. Wait.
This broadcast is brought to you by OmniRide. OmniRide offers a family of hassle-free travel options in Prince William County and beyond. OmniRide Express buses travel from eastern Prince William, Manassas, and Gainesville to destinations like downtown D.C., the Pentagon, and nearby metro stations. OmniRide local buses operate in Prince William, Manassas, and Manassas Park and are great for shopping, medical appointments, and other everyday activities. OmniRide's ride matching service joins commuters with carpools or van pools that fit their schedules. Visit OmniRide.com to find out how you can leave the driving to OmniRide and get there smarter.
We near the end of halftime as the Freedom Eagles enjoy a 14-7 lead over the Woodbridge Vikings. To recap the scoring for you in that first half of play, in the first quarter, after converting a 4th down in their own territory, the Eagles able to drive the ball down, and Taekwon Brown rushes it in from 5 yards out to put the Eagles up 7-0. After an interception, the Vikings able to drive down, and on a 4th and goal, Antavius Jackson takes it into the end zone himself, a 7-yard touchdown run to even the score at 7. And then in the second quarter, it was Zach Person, a 10-yard touchdown reception from Quest Powell, put the Eagles up 14-7, and that's where we stand now. And as we look over the stats provided to us by Inside Nova, the Freedom Eagles outgaining the Woodbridge Vikings 147 yards to 27 on offense. Of course, the Vikings lost their star running back, Lamont James, on the first possession of the game. He went down with what appeared to be a shoulder injury, as he is on the sideline in a sling. Is that a major blow to the Vikings offense, as he really did it last week on both sides of the ball against Potomac, as he had 4 rushing touchdowns, 291 yards, and also intercepted 2 passes and returned them both for touchdowns on the defensive side. So the loss of James, just a devastating blow to this Vikings team. So as we look ahead at the remaining schedules for both of these teams, the Vikings next week will be at Colgan. The following week they are at Hilton, and then they close the season on November 2nd here against Garfield. The Eagles' remaining schedule, next week they will be at home against the Potomac Panthers. They go to Garfield to take on the Indians on the 26th before closing their season at home on Friday, November 2nd against the Colgan Sharks. So both of these teams getting ready to take the field to begin the second half of play. As Mansa Pepra and Taylor Harris will go back deep to receive the opening kickoff of the second half. As Alpha So will get ready to boot this one away. As I am joined once again here by Ryan Sonner of Inside Nova. So we were talking about just what a devastating blow the injury to Lamont James was for the Vikings. So it's good. Antavius Jackson's really going to have to put this team on his back if they want to get back into this one.
He's really shouldering the load, no pun intended, but he's the one that they're going to have to hitch their wagons to, it looks like.
And here's the kickoff. That will bounce, and it will be picked up by Harris at the 16. He's going to get it up to about the 18. And so that's the second time we've seen that happen today. The sun really bright on that end of the field right now.
And it's a live ball.
Indeed it is. So this one's spotted at the 17 as Antavius Jackson will lead the Vikings offense back out onto the field.
Oh my God, this is so much better.
And, for this Freedom defense, if they know Jackson's going to be the main focus, they can really kind of pin their ears back and go after him.
They sure can. And I expect them to do just that.
As he fakes the end around to Pepra. Jackson will be brought down. Looks like he maybe gained 2 on that one.
Jackson is their leading rusher with 8 attempts for only 7 yards.
Yeah, as we mentioned, only 27 yards of total offense for the Vikings. So Jackson goes to the sideline to get the play.
The confidence of that Freedom defense has to be soaring right now.
He's got a man in motion. That's Pepra. Jackson.
He's got a guy.
Looking deep for a pass, and that one is off the hands of the receiver. That is Trayshawn Parham.
He's been open a couple of times tonight.
He had a step on the defender there. He lunged out to try to get it and just could not come up with it.
Just out of his reach. My old coach said if you can touch it, you can catch it. So just out of his reach on that one.
So 3rd and 9 officially. Ferguson in the backfield with Jackson. A 3-receiver set. Pepra in motion once again. He's going to give it to Ferguson, and he's just got nowhere to go. He is brought down right away. And so the punt unit will have to come on for the Vikings. And so the Eagles anticipating a drive here on which they will have excellent starting field position. So I'm trying to get a look at the number on the back of the jersey there for the Eagles returner. They did not have broadcasters in mind when they designed these jerseys. Bright gold numbers on top of white jerseys.
That is number 17 on the roster, Rigobert Lamptey.
And here is the punt. That one will go out of bounds, and we'll have to wait to see where the official will spot this one. That will be at the 45 of the Vikings to begin this drive.
And I expect him to go back to Taekwon Brown. Just
Yeah.
feed the beast here. Shorten the game. Get out of here with a W.
I believe we had heard that he had 21 carries in the first half, so he is the workhorse for this Eagles offense.
88 yards for Brown so far, 12 away from 100, which it seems like he eclipses every game.
So Brown the lone setback as the Vikings showing blitz. And now we get a whistle and a delay of game penalty coming up against the Eagles.
I believe that's their second or third delay of the game so far.
In fact, it is. So that'll move the ball back to the midfield stripe, which of course is in pink today, as the Vikings show their support for breast cancer awareness and breast cancer research. Here's the snap, fake to Brown. Pass will be dumped off. That one is caught and will be brought back up inside the 45, as on the reception was Nazir Armstrong.
That was Zach Person.
Oh, Zach Person, my mistake. Person, of course, with the 10-yard touchdown reception in the second quarter. Now Armstrong split out here to the near side.
He's got Person has 2 catches for 15 yards so far.
Powell will give it to Brown, running up the middle. He's going to get hit at the 43 and pushed back.
That's a great job by the Woodbridge defense on gang tackling there, swarming the ball.
So that'll bring up 3rd and 8, and you've got to think it'll be 2-down territory should they not convert here. We've seen them go for it all game on 4th down.
Absolutely. There's no punting on the Freedom side today. They are going with the win, though.
So Brown steps up to the left of Powell. He'll get the carry. He's got some room going up the middle. He's across the 30. And that is a gain of about 16 and a fresh set of downs for the Eagles.
It was a great job by Brown seeing the hole in the middle of the field and just bursting right through it.
So this Eagles offense wasting no time. Powell will give it to Brown once again. He's running up the middle again. He gets it up to about the 21 before he is brought down.
Brown up to 115 yards on the day. Hurry up offense for Freedom.
And they are wasting no time on this drive. 8:39 left to go in the third quarter. Powell will give it to Brown once again. He's going to be met at the line of scrimmage. He maybe got a yard on that one, but a good push from the Vikings defensive front will bring up 3rd down.
Well, Brown has only hit 3 or 4 plays of 10 yards or more, and he really hasn't had that big 50 or 60-yard backbreaker yet. You would think it's just a matter of time.
Yeah, he's been steadily fed the ball today. You got to think Coach Overton's strategy at this point, just wear down that Vikings defense.
We're at 25 carries so far for Brown.
As he sets up to the right of Powell. Powell fakes the give to Brown. The pass out to Armstrong. He catches it at the 20. He's going to fall forward to the 16, and that will be a first down for the Eagles. And I'm sorry, it looks like
they're moving the
chains. No, they do move the chains. We heard the assistant coaches up here say it'll be 4th, but the officials do indeed give them a first down. A fresh set of downs at the Vikings 16-yard line. Fake the handoff to Brown, the pass to Armstrong once again. He's going to be brought down at the 12.
He's really looking Armstrong's way, Powell is. He had him a few times in the first half.
That'll bring up 2nd and 7. This time Brown was behind Powell. He moves over to his right. And we get a whistle. That will be encroachment against the defense, as it was Howard who jumped there. And so that will give the Eagles a free 5 yards.
Something you don't like to do against this offense.
No, they are good enough. They don't need any help.
That's right. And now we're inside the 10 here. I'm interested to see if they make Brown, if they swing him out, or if they go ahead and just feed him up the middle.
Well, he went up the middle for his touchdown run in the first quarter.
They shift him around in the backfield a lot now. You never know which way he's going to go, but he gets it up the middle.
He gets the carry, and he's going to get that one up inside the 5. So that will be another first down for the Eagles. It will be 1st and goal from the 5. So they stay with the same 4-receiver set. Powell will give it to Brown. He lost the ball, and the Vikings come up with it. Brown could not take that handoff cleanly. It ends up on the ground. The Vikings recover. They'll start a drive deep in their own territory with 6:07 left to go here in the third quarter.
That is a big play by the Woodbridge defense right there to keep this from being a 2-score game.
The second takeaway of the day for this Vikings defense.
And it looked like another bobbled handoff. We've seen that several times.
Yeah, in the first quarter it was Powell not able to handle the snap, but it took a fortuitous bounce. Tyquan Brown dove on it, and that was good enough for a first down, and that eventually led to a touchdown. As Jackson gets the snap now, he is being rushed, and he will be pushed back and brought down. Looks like they will spot the ball at the 5-yard line. But this Vikings offensive line having a really hard time getting any traction going against the defensive front of the Eagles.
And now's a position where if you're the linebackers, you can kind of double jaws it and come in from both sides and see if Brown can make a play up the middle. Or Jackson, excuse me.
So they'll break the huddle with a 3-receiver set. Jackson will give it to the running back, as I believe that is Ferguson. He's going to be brought down at the 3 is where the ball spotted. And so we're really seeing the effects of the injury to Lamont James.
They just cannot get a running game started to save their lives here today. It is tough sledding for the Woodbridge Vikings.
So the difficulties that the Vikings having will bring up 3rd and 13 with 4:52 to go in the third quarter. An empty backfield here. Jackson gets the snap, but there's a whistle and a penalty marker down right away.
Freedom was bringing pressure on that one too, as they should.
And this will go against the Vikings. I did not see the signal, but usually when the flag comes out right away, usually
that may have been an illegal formation.
The PA announces a false start here. 4.5 to play in the third quarter. The Vikings go with the empty backfield once again. Jackson gets the snap. He's being rushed. He's just got to chuck this one up, and will they throw the flag for grounding?
Are they saying he was out of the pocket or no?
There comes the flag. That will be intentional grounding and a safety against the Vikings. So as we mentioned, these Eagles defenders just really able to just pin their ears back, go right after Jackson. They did it there.
They can bring pressure on every play if they want.
That results in 2 points. So it's 16-7 Eagles on top now. We've got 4:15 left to go here in the third quarter.
And Jackson really had nothing. His receivers were covered. The middle of the Freedom defense was just bearing down on him, and he just had nowhere to go, so he had to fling it away out of bounds. And now Freedom gets the ball.
So the lead pushed out to 9 for the Eagles as they will take this kick.
This will be a free kick. But he's going to put it on the ground. Set it up on a tee. I'm not sure I'd risk punting it either in this wind.
As the wind has died down, as we take a look at the goalposts here to our left. So Gilly will get ready to boot this one away.
Freedom's going to end up likely with good field position here.
Yeah, they've got 3 men set up for the return at about the 35.
Short kick.
A short kick, and the returner gets it coming across the 50. That's Jason Hawkins. He's going up the sidelines. He is into Vikings territory as he's marked out at the 44.
It's another short field for the Eagles.
They've had several drives starting with a short field so far in this one.
And if they can convert on this drive, that really makes it. That's going to make it really hard for Woodbridge to mount a comeback here, given their offensive struggles and Lamont James being on the sideline in a sling.
So Quest Powell will come out. He leads his team out with Tyquan Brown, his lone setback. 2 receivers split out to each side. And we get a whistle and I believe a false start penalty against the receiver who was split out there to the far side. So that will move the Eagles back 5 yards to begin this drive.
I'm wondering about how the Woodbridge defense is feeling. Are they worn out at this point? Are they tired? Is this where Brown maybe hits a big one?
That's a definite possibility. I would think with all the carries we've seen Brown get over the course of this game, they're just grinding that defensive front down. So you could be right. We could see Brown break one here. 1st and 15 now from the 49. Brown gets the carry, looking for some room up the middle. He's going to push it up to the 45. Gain of 4 on the play will bring up 2nd and 11.
Brown now has 27 carries for 122 yards on the day. Big workload for that guy.
So around 5.5 to 6 yards per carry, as it was Antoine Sampa in on the tackle there. 2nd and 11. We've got 3:39 remaining here in the third quarter. A man in motion is Nazir Armstrong, rather. The snap will be given to Brown. He's running up across the 35, gets it to the 33. He is close to a first down. I think he got it.
I believe he did.
Taylor Harris in on the stop, but not before Tyquan Brown's able to move the chains and give the Eagles a fresh set of downs.
And Freedom is running everything as usual out of the shotgun formation here.
Armstrong will go in motion again. Brown gets the carry again, looking for some room out to that left side. He's cutting it across the 30, across the 25. He gets down to about the 22, and once again, that should be good for a first down.
10 more for Brown, and that's really one of the few times we've seen him break one wide. He's usually right up between the tackles today.
Yeah, he's been taking the ball up the middle quite a bit.
That was his 30th carry. believe 2 weeks ago when he ran for 331 yards, he had 31 carries. So he's one off his season high.
Set to exceed that by a by a big margin at this point as Powell gets a snap. He's got a completion, and that will be another Eagles first down. So no problem at all running the offense and moving the chains on this drive. And I believe that was actually Jason Hawkins on the reception.
Jason Hawkins for 13 yards.
As Powell gets ready for the snap, now we get a whistle. And we do see Julian Edwards in the backfield now for the Vikings. Whistle, a flag on the play, and a false start will move the Eagles back as we're under 2 minutes to play here in the third.
This would be a good time to get Brown some rest. Bring in Edwards. You got first and goal at the 10. You can afford a couple plays here to give him a blow and let him recharge his batteries a little bit.
Yeah, I definitely agree. We've seen Edwards and Brown really form a good two-headed monster at running back this year for the Eagles. So Edwards will get the carry. He's running up the middle. He's going to be met right away. He pushes forward. Looks like he got to about the 14.
Edwards has eclipsed the 100-yard mark at least once this year. He is a very capable backup to Tyquan Brown.
So Brown, with a quick breather, gets back into the game. Yeah, we've heard Coach Overton talk about what an effective 1-2 punch Brown and Edwards form at running back. As Powell gets the snap, fakes the give to Brown, looking into the end zone, and his receiver fell down as he was looking for Umari Hatcher. Parham there on the coverage for the Vikings, and that'll bring up third down.
There was some contact on that. I thought they might throw a flag, but no flag on the field.
So that brings up third and... See, it is third and goal from the 16 or the 15-yard line, rather.
This would be a good spot for that counter tray play that we saw earlier on 4th and long.
So Brown will set up to the right of Powell. Powell being rushed. He's rolling out. We've got a flag on the play. He lofts this one into the end zone. It will fall incomplete. So that will be a holding call against the Eagles. And, we've seen the Eagles, their willingness to go for it on 4th down. So that being said, I think the smart thing to do would be to take the penalty and move them back 10 yards.
Absolutely. You know they're going to have 2 plays anyway. And if they don't make it on 4th down, if it comes down to that, then you got the ball outside your own 20. So could be worse for Woodbridge. Let's just see if their defense can hold them.
So they do, in fact, accept the penalty, so that will bring up third and goal from the 33-yard line. We've got 47 seconds left to go here in this third quarter. Powell looking to throw. He's looking deep, and we've got a flag coming out right away, as that will be a pass interference call against the Vikings, as all over the receiver was Rafiq Ampong.
He didn't even give a chance to look back at the ball either. He was all over Armstrong on that one, right in the end zone.
So 15 yards and now a fresh set of downs for the Eagles, as the clock is paused with 40 seconds left to play in the third quarter.
And you just said it, that's the biggest part of that. They get a first down and they're back in business.
So it'll be 1st and 10 from the 18. So the chain gang has not. Oh, now. See, it should be first down, but it's still a third down. Oh, okay, it was third.
It was third, so they just take off 15 yards. And now
Okay.
instead of third and goal from the 32, you're third and goal from the 18.
I spoke prematurely. Here's the fake to Brown. Powell looking into the end zone. A jump ball. It is intercepted. Trayshawn Parham in on the interception, and we'll take another look at it.
Let's see if he got his feet down.
Powell lofted it up. Parham went up and got it and managed to get a foot down in bounds. So a big break for this Vikings defense. They stay in the game.
It looked like after that interception, when they popped up, it looked like Nazir Armstrong had the ball, but I guess they're giving Parham credit for possession.
Yeah, the official was right there and signaled touchback right away. So perhaps they were wrestling for it after Parham went to the ground, but the Vikings will take over at their own 20.
That is a big play for Woodbridge. Now they have some life.
Jackson gets the snap. He gives to his running back, running up the middle. Just no running room there at all. And we've got 20 seconds left to play in the third quarter. A beautiful, brisk fall afternoon. So we feel this breeze pick up once again.
It is definitely hoodie weather.
And they're going to let the clock tick down, and that is the end of the third. After 3 quarters of play, the Eagles lead the Vikings 16-7. This is your high school game of the week on Inside Nova.
Broadcast is brought to you by OmniRide. OmniRide Express buses travel from Eastern Prince William, Manassas, and Gainesville to destinations like downtown D.C., the Pentagon, and nearby metro stations. Visit OmniRide.com to find out how you can leave the driving to OmniRide and get there smarter.
Okay, Viking family, we've been talking about pink out and breast cancer awareness. How can you take action? There are 3 things that you can do. Support life-saving research by wearing pink during the month of October. You can participate in breast cancer awareness events.
We begin the fourth quarter of play. The Freedom Eagles lead the Woodbridge Vikings by a score of 16-7. As the Eagles were able to add on to the lead with a safety in the third quarter, called on an intentional grounding penalty that happened in the end zone as Antavius Jackson was being rushed. "12 minutes remain in regulation in this one. It's 2nd and 9. Ball spotted at the Vikings 21 as we've got a man going in motion now. Jackson ready for the snap. And we'll get a whistle as he drew the Eagles defenders offside there, so they will get to move the ball up 5 yards. And while they do that, we'll remind you that OmniRide local buses operated in Prince William, Manassas, and Manassas Park and are great for shopping, medical appointments, and everyday activities. Visit OmniRide.com to find out how you can leave the driving to OmniRide and get there smarter. So 2nd and 4 after the offside penalty. As Jackson had trouble with that snap, he gives it off to the back, though. Amonte Evans coming out of the backfield. He picks up a short gain. Looks like they're going to give him 2. So that will bring up 3rd and short. 3rd and a long 2, they announce here on the PA. Jackson with the snap. He will give it off. And there's a big gainer as Isaiah Johnson's going up the sideline. He gets it into Eagles territory before he is ridden out of bounds. He brings it up to the 46. A gain of 20 for Johnson on the play. First down, Vikings. The snap and the give to the back. Running up the middle is Taylor Harris. And as a flag comes in at the end of the play. And we have an illegal block called against the Vikings, so that is a killer for them at this point. So a nice crowd here at Woodbridge on a Saturday afternoon. I'm not sure if it's Hacksaw Jim Duggan in the crowd, but we keep hearing a fan saying, "Ho!" So this will be a 15-yard penalty against the Vikings, and that's just an absolute killer on a day for them where they have struggled to come up with a lot on the offensive side of the ball after the injury to Lamont James that happened on their first possession of the game. Jackson ready for the snap out of the gun. He bobbles it, comes up with it. He's looking deep down the sideline for Parham as that one falls incomplete. There was a little bit of contact there, but not enough to draw a penalty marker. And that will bring up second and long. Second and about 24 to be exact. The Vikings break the huddle with a 3-receiver set. Empty backfield for Jackson. He will take it himself, running up the middle. He's coming across midfield, and he will bring it up to inside the 40-yard line. The ball comes out, and I believe the referee has signaled that he was down before the ball came out. So on 2nd and 24, Jackson gains 23 on the quarterback keeper. 3rd and 2 officially coming up now. Once again, a 3-receiver set. Jackson looking for some running room up the middle once again, but he will be swallowed up and brought down in the backfield this time. So that will bring up 4th and about 5. And, of course, this is definitely 4-down territory for the Vikings. As both tight ends come out of the game for the Vikings. Looks like they'll go with a 5-receiver set, but they'll take a timeout to talk about it, and so we'll step aside as well. This is your high school game of the week on Inside Nova.
Broadcast is brought to you by OmniRide. OmniRide local buses operate in Prince William, Manassas, and Manassas Park and are great for shopping, medical appointments, and other everyday activities. Visit OmniRide.com to find out how you can leave the driving to OmniRide and get there smarter.
Welcome back to Woodbridge Senior High School. 9:16 remaining in the fourth quarter. A big 4th and 5 coming up for the Woodbridge Vikings. It's a 16-7 Eagles lead. A 5-yard touchdown run by Taekwon Brown in the first quarter, a 10-yard touchdown reception by Zach Person in the second, and then a safety in the third quarter add up to these 16 points for the Eagles, and we get another timeout taken by the Vikings here, and so we'll take another one ourselves. This is your high school game of the week on Inside Nova.
Today's game is being sponsored in part by the Frizzle Insurance Agency, State Farm Insurance, your home for all of your insurance needs. When you need car, home, life, or business insurance, Andrew Frizzle and his team have it all covered for you. Call the Frizzle Insurance Agency today for all your insurance needs.
$9:16 remaining in the fourth quarter, as we think we'll get a fourth down play this time, as the Vikings have taken back-to-back timeouts. The wind picking back up here in Woodbridge. Here comes the 4th and 5 play. Jackson has it, looking for some room. He's got nowhere to go. He will be wrestled down to the dirt, and the Eagles will take over on downs with 9:06 remaining in the fourth. Unfortunately for the Vikings, the injury to Lamont James has been absolutely devastating to this team. The Vikings able to break off a couple big plays on this drive, only to have it all short circuit thanks to a penalty for an illegal block that set them back 15 yards. A nice run by Jackson got them within 2 yards of getting a first down, but they could not convert. And so the Eagles will take over with 9:06 to play. Now we get a whistle and a timeout taken by Freedom. We will keep it right here this time. So you're scoring in this one. Brown, a 5-yard touchdown run in the first. Antavius Jackson equaled that for the Vikings with a 7-yard touchdown run, which came on a 4th and goal. In the second quarter was Zach Person, a 10-yard touchdown reception. And then in the third quarter, the Eagles added on 2 on a safety, which occurred on an intentional grounding infraction called against Antavius Jackson in the end zone. So that's where we stand. It's 16-7. And fall is definitely in the air here in Woodbridge as we see the flags blowing here to the left of the field, and we definitely feel that breeze coming in here to the broadcast booth. So 1st and 10 for the Eagles. Looks like man coverage with Taylor Harris there in the defensive backfield. Brown's going to get met in the backfield and brought down for a loss of about 3. Under 9 to play now. Officially a loss of 2 will bring up 2nd and 12. Brown will get the carry once again. Hurdles a defender, comes up across midfield, and will be tackled at the 48 as he fell forward there. So that will bring up 3rd and about 2. Brown able to gain 10 on the play. Brown sets up to the right of Powell. Powell looking to throw. Has this one complete to Person. That's good for a first down as he spins and he gets across the 40 He's pushed backwards, but his forward progress did get inside the 40 as we're under 8 minutes to play. And that will move the sticks. It'll be 1st and 10 from the 40 for the Eagles. A 4-receiver set. Powell will give it to Brown, looking up the middle. He breaks free, coming across the 35, and he will keep pushing up to about the 31, very close to a first down for Taekwon Brown. Gain of 9 brings up 2nd and 1. Powell fakes the give to Brown, looking for a person as that pass was thrown behind him. He tried to slide down and catch it. He cannot come up with it. So that brings up 3rd and 1. The sun moves behind the clouds here in the late afternoon. 7:01 left to play in the 4th. Brown gets the carry, running up the middle, a short gain, but it will be good enough for a first down as he looks to get about 3 on that one. .651 left to go. So it'll be 1st and 10 from the 29. Powell, a quick out to Person. He's going to carry it. He's got some room going up the sideline. 10-5, touchdown Eagles. Zach Person gets into the end zone for the 2nd time today, and the Eagles lead 22-7. A quick out to Person. He takes it all the way, and that one will put this one in all likelihood out of reach, as Alpha So will look to put the extra point through the uprights. The kick is up, and it is good. But we get a flag that comes in at the end of the play. As we will await the signal here from the man in stripes, that penalty will be against the Eagles. And so I believe they will have to re-kick this extra point. So the sun makes its way back out from behind the clouds. So Alpha So ready to try to put this one through again. He'll have to do it from 25 yards out. Here's the kick. It's up, and it is good once again. So 23-7 is your score, and we will step aside here on your high school game of the week on Inside Nova.
Today's game is being sponsored in part by the Frizzle Insurance Agency. State Farm Insurance, your home for all of your insurance needs. When you need car, home, life, or business insurance, Andrew Frizzle and his team have it all covered for you. Call the Frizzle Insurance Agency today for all your insurance needs.
.6:29 is left on the clock here in the fourth quarter. The Freedom Eagles, on Zach Person's second touchdown reception of the day, now lead 23-7. As Alpha So ready to kick this one away. Kick is end over end. That one will go all the way into the end zone for a touchback, as Mansa Pepra just watched that one sail over his head. Just a tick under 6.5 to play here in the fourth. So Antavius Jackson and the Vikings offense take the field once again. As without their main offensive weapon, Lamont James, it has been tough sledding, as Jackson will give it to the back, and he is just swallowed up in the backfield. A loss there, as that was Kyrie Robinson on the carry. Lost about 3 on that one. So brings up 2nd and 13. Amonte Evans in the backfield now with Jackson. He's going to give it to Evans, looking for some running room up the middle. A short gain there, but the ball comes out, and this will be an Eagles touchdown, as Eric Surratt comes up with the ball and takes it in. It's 29-7. And this has been a rough one for the Vikings today. The lead is extended to 22 with 5 minutes and 45 seconds left to play. And here's the extra point attempt. It is up, and it is good. So with the extra point, it's 30-7. We'll step aside. This is your high school game of the week on Inside Nova.
This broadcast is brought to you by OmniRide. OmniRide local buses operate in Prince William, Manassas, and Manassas Park and are great for shopping, medical appointments, and other everyday activities. Visit OmniRide.com to find out how you can leave the driving to OmniRide and get there smarter.
The Eagles extend the lead to 30-7, 5:45 left to play here in the fourth quarter, as Alpha So gets ready to boot this one away. The Eagles' lead extended on the fumble recovery and return for a touchdown by Eric Surratt. The kick is up end over end. It will be taken at the 11-yard line. Returned up to about the 26. As on the return was Taylor Harris. 5:37 remains on the clock, as the Vikings were able to keep it close for a while, but in this second half, the Eagles have opened up a 23-point lead. Jackson with the snap. He'll take it, and he will get it up to about the 35 before he is brought down there. On the tackle is Jeremiah Edwards. So 2nd and 7 after the rush by Jackson. And once again, Jackson will keep it. Gets back to the line of scrimmage, maybe got a yard, but just not a whole lot doing there. They will give him a yard, so it brings up 3rd and 6. A 3-receiver set for Jackson. Harris in the backfield. Jackson once again looking for some running room going up the middle. He's pushing forward, gets it up to about the 38. So that will bring up 3rd and about 3. So 4th down, a timeout taken by the Eagles. And so we will take one ourselves. This is your high school game of the week on Inside Nova.
This broadcast is brought to you by OmniRide. OmniRide's ride matching service joins commuters with carpools or van pools that fit their schedules. Visit OmniRide.com to find out how you can leave the driving to OmniRide and get there smarter.
.407 left to play in the 4th quarter. It is 4th and 2 as the Vikings offense makes their way back out onto the field from the sideline. The Eagles just took a timeout as they get set on the offensive side of the ball. Seen a lot of quarterback keepers in this second half. Jackson will give to his back. He will get enough for the first down as that's Taylor Harris once again on the carry. So Harris gains 3 on 4th and 2, and that's good enough to move the chains. Jackson fakes the give to Harris. He'll find Pepra. Pepra trying to find some yardage there. Gains about 3, but a flag comes in. And then another one at the end of the play. So I believe we had a signal for holding, but we will reserve judgment until that is confirmed. That is holding, in fact, against the Vikings. So that will move them back 10 yards from the spot of the foul. 3:43 left to play in the final quarter of play. As it is very quiet inside of A.T. Howard Stadium, as it has just been a rough day for the home team today. On the very first offensive possession, they lose Lamont James with what appeared to be a very serious shoulder injury as he was in a sling on the sideline. As Jackson gets the snap, gives to Harris, back to the line of scrimmage, and that is it. Looks like they maybe moved the stick up a foot or so, but just not a whole lot there for Taylor Harris on the run as the clock approaches now 3 minutes to play. So Jackson will operate out of the gun once again in a 3-receiver set. Fakes the give to Harris. He's being rushed and he will be sacked. Nowhere to go for Jackson that time, as in on the sack was Cameron Eanes. Under 2.5 to play. So that sets up 3rd and an eternity. As we hear some chanting from the Freedom side. Jackson a quick out to Parham, but he has nowhere to go. Looks like he gained a yard or 2 at the very most. We're under 2 to play now. And here comes the punt unit. The clock continues to tick. 1:22 and counting. As the punter Romeo Schuler will come in to kick this one away. And this one's up. No wind to knock this one down. It will bounce at the 36 and be taken. Now we get a whistle that came in right after the punt, and there's a flag on the play back at the Vikings 32-yard line. And then another flag thrown at the Eagles 47. The official picks up the flag, puts it back into his pocket, but I have yet to see a signal. That will be offsetting personal fouls. So they will replay 4th down. So Romeo Schuler. Actually, no, okay, so the penalties come after the play, so the result of 4th down will place the ball at the 45-yard line of the Vikings. And so back out come the Freedom Eagles. No, I'm my mistake. They will, in fact, replay 4th down. And now we get a whistle. As both teams get the personnel they want onto the field. So the ball spotted at the 45 of the Vikings as Romeo Schuler comes in to punt it away once again. He will boot this one. It was nearly blocked, but that will bounce at the 26 and be downed right there. So the Eagles will start this drive at about their own 29-yard line, it looks like is the official spot. 22 seconds left to play as the Eagles offense comes back out onto the field. So we've slowed down to a snail's pace here in the late fourth quarter. As Quest Powell gets the snap, he will take a knee, and that will do it for this one. A dominating road win for the Freedom Eagles. They come over to visit their crosstown rival, and they will leave with a 30-7 win. So we will step aside for a commercial break, and then we will be back with post-game interviews to wrap this one up. The final score, the Freedom Eagles 30, the Woodbridge Vikings 7. This is your game of the week on Inside Nova.
Broadcast is brought to you by OmniRide. OmniRide offers a family of hassle-free travel options in Prince William County and beyond. Visit OmniRide.com to find out how you can leave the driving to OmniRide and get there smarter.
The players meet at midfield to shake hands as this game comes to an end. The Eagles come on the road and score a big 30-7 victory as the Vikings offense really hampered by the loss of Lamont James. He went down on the Vikings' first possession of the game with an apparent shoulder injury. He was on the sideline in a sling for the rest of the game. And, James really the offensive weapon for this Vikings team. Without him, they just really had a hard time getting anything going offensively. And so the Eagles defense, without James being in there, able to flex their muscles, and they come away with a 23-point win. To recap your scoring plays in this one, in the first quarter, Tyquan Brown opened the scoring after his team was able to convert on a fourth down in their own territory that happened on a fumble, as it was Quest Powell not being able to handle a snap. He came in, or he fumbled the snap. Brown recovered it and was able to fall forward and get a first down. They drove down, and Tyquan Brown was able to put it in from 5 yards out, a 5-yard rushing touchdown. That opened the scoring. Later in the first quarter, it was Antavius Jackson on a 4th and goal. He was looking for an open receiver. He could not find one. He decided to take it himself, and he was able to get into the end zone to tie the game. In the second quarter, the Eagles went back on top, and they would stay on top on a 10-yard touchdown reception from Zach Person. In the third quarter, the Eagles added on 2 more on a safety on an intentional grounding penalty in the end zone. Person added another touchdown reception, that one from 28 yards. And then finally, Eric Surratt, a fumble recovery for a touchdown, capped the scoring. That made it 30-7, and that was the final score in this one. So in what was billed the game of the year, the Eagles come away with a very convincing win. That moves them to 6-1 on the season, and will certainly move them up in the power rankings. As what we saw today was definitely a possible first-round playoff matchup. Of course, it all depends upon how the rest of the season goes and how these two teams will end up in the power rankings. But a huge win for the Eagles today, as we're awaiting Joel Andrews down on the field to bring us our post-game interviews. And so, as we mentioned, the devastating injury for this Vikings to running back Lamont James. And they've got to hope for his sake that he will be able to return at some point this season. He was on the sideline in a sling. It did not look good at all. He had extremely limited motion in that shoulder that he was grabbing as he came off the field. So Vikings fans will wait with nervous anticipation to find out the severity of his injury. Today's game was brought to you by OmniRide. OmniRide Express buses travel from Eastern Prince William, Manassas, and Gainesville to destinations like downtown D.C., the Pentagon, and nearby metro stations. Visit OmniRide.com to find out how you can leave the driving to OmniRide and get there smarter. Also brought to you by Andrew Frizzle, your local State Farm agent, the Frizzle Insurance Agency, for your home, life, and auto insurance needs. So Joel's down there awaiting an interview with a Freedom player and also perhaps Coach Overton, as Coach has to be thrilled with his team's effort here today. Tyquan Brown over 30 carries today, of course. The straw that stirs the drink for this Eagles offense. As we hear their band marching over on their sideline, celebrating a huge victory for them today. So both teams continue to meet by the end zones. Weather-wise, this was just a perfect October afternoon for football. A lot of wind. We did see the wind wreak havoc on that punt in the first half that ended up being a net of -1 yards for the Vikings. The punt got knocked down by the wind and then really took an Eagles roll. As looks like we're ready to go down to Joel. So Joel Andrews down on the field. We'd like to thank Ryan Sonner for being in the broadcast booth here today. Ryan, of course, from Inside Nova, providing great coverage all season long of high school sports in Prince William County. So we'll send it down to Joel. Looks like he'll be joined by Quest Powell and Zach Person.
All right, we're live now. It's a big win by Freedom against Woodbridge on the road. How big was this win, especially on the road?
It was a big win. You know, they're our district rivals. It's good to get a good win against them. Now we number one in the district, so this is our district championship.
So this is Quest Powell, quarterback of Freedom. Last year you got to watch basically the entire year, see how it was done. Has it been a smooth transition with you being the starter this year?
Yeah, it was a very smooth transition. A lot of guys on my team have all my receivers, my running back, especially my linemen, helped me get up to date, ready for the speed of the game.
Obviously you had one loss coming in this game, but this was the big game on the calendar. What did Coach tell you beforehand?
To stay out of it, don't let them get in our heads, and just to keep and get out of all the petty and the personal vendettas we have against the players or whoever, and just get a good team to execute.
So Coach pretty much say enjoy this today, but tomorrow forget about it. It's on to the next one, right? All right, appreciate it. Good game. Joining us now is Zach.
Zach Person.
Great game for you here today. What was it like being on the field, especially a daylight game, not nighttime?
It was a good day today. I had a blessing to be playing this game, and also my I'm just grateful to be out here.
Yeah, 30 points on the board, but I think the biggest stat that's going to come out is what you did to their offense. You basically shut them down. Now, their star running back did get hurt, but, man, your defense really came up big.
They did play good. Defense on our corners, Josh and Najir, they played big for us, one-on-one against the outside receivers, and they came through.
Great win here today. Good luck the rest of the way.
Thank you.
That's going to wrap things up from Freedom. from Woodbridge High School. The Eagles defeat the Woodbridge Vikings. We'll see you next Friday night for more football here on PW Sports. Have a good night.
Nothing like off the cuff interviewing. And they gave me a wrong name.
What?
They gave me a wrong name.
What do you mean?
Keeping stats on a different player.